Okay, Mad Dog 2001. As you're coming up on top, this is SummerSlam. My thoughts on SummerSlam. I don't really do reviews just because there's so many people on here that do reviews that would probably be a much better job than I would. Because, first of all, I consider myself real biased on certain things. But I went to Romines and watched the pay-per-view SummerSlam. Romines is a sports bar, but they do pay-per-views like in the Milwaukee area. So basically, we got there a little late, so we didn't get to see the six-man tag. We got in right towards the end of it, so I'm gonna skip that match completely because I didn't see the whole thing, so I can't really give a thoughts on it. All I know is Ray, I think, got the pin. I don't really care. It doesn't really matter anyways. So then there was a women's match between Kelly Kelly and Beth Phoenix. You know, my personal opinion is that I like Beth Phoenix a lot when it comes to the in-ring work that she can do, and I consider herself pretty entertaining. The shoot that she made last week on Raw, I thought they were going to go a little bit more in depth with it, kind of like what they're doing with the Punk thing. Because it seems to me that WWE is kind of trying to bring back some of their older fans by saying like, hey, we care about you guys, so we're going to give you a little bit what you want to see. That's why you have the Punk doing the whole real storyline, you know, cutting the crap, saying like, this is no longer, I'm not going to play a character anymore, this is who I am type thing. And I think that's what's bringing a lot of fans back, and is why a lot of people really like CM Punk. At least the people that liked Punk before he did this. I'm talking about the fans that are cheering. Now it's popular to like Punk, and it's popular to boo Cena. I do not think they're going to turn Cena heel. But anyways, I digress. I think Kelly Kelly won the match. It doesn't really matter because that title has meant crap for the last probably good 6 years. Probably the last diva or women's wrestler to hold that title that had any credibility whatsoever is Trish Stratus, in my opinion. So we'll move on. Then there was Wade Barrett versus Bryan Danielson. This match was very good, in my opinion. I really enjoyed it, and I like that Wade Barrett went over, even though a lot of people like Bryan Danielson. And the one thing I do like is how the announcers for the majority of the match were talking about how this came to be, and they kept talking about the Money in the Bank match. And I was saying like, didn't these guys come in as Nexus together? Like, I think a lot of they were trying to pretend like Nexus didn't exist, even though it was there last year, but the whole stable's gone now. Michael Cole, a guy that for some reason everybody hates, and I don't like Michael Cole, but I will defend him and say that I love his heel character because it brings a whole nother element into wrestling. Yes, we've had heel announcers before. We've had JBL, who, in my opinion, is one of the best announcers, like color commentator I heard. We had the King when he was heel, but let's face it, Michael Cole is just a straight up heel type announcer, and I like that he did that to himself, and I'm pretty sure that had a lot to be doing with him because people don't like him. People think he's annoying, so he used that and created a new character with it, and that to me is it's good wrestling business, and it's good storytelling in my opinion. So with Michael Cole, he brings up that these two were in Nexus together, and King and Booker T, which first of all, Booker T sucks. I don't watch SmackDown, and I don't understand why JR was not announcing here, but freaking Booker T just kept making such weird comments. I think he was admiring Christian's pectoral in like one match. Like, what the hell is he talking about? He just he sucks. But anyways, so that's out of the way. Booker T just needs to either A, get back in the ring, be like a manager, but stop announcing, because he does not bring anything more than, I'd much rather have Matt Stryker or Josh Matthews than this guy, because this guy just sucks. he's annoying. You barely understand him because he does mutter a lot, and it like, shut up. That probably just makes me sound racist, but whatever. Next was Mark Henry and Sheamus. Now, I think that match was actually before Wade Barrett and Danielson, but actually going into the match, I'm like, this could actually, I said to my friend that we were watching it with, I'm like, this could be good. And surprisingly, it was. I like Sheamus, and I think that I said that when Sheamus was a heel character, a few months ago, but I said it like back around when he was feuding with Danielson, I think it was, for the IC belt a long time ago, like last year. I said that, oh no, it was Morrison. He was feuding with Morrison. And I said that when Sheamus turns babyface, it's going to be I think that he has the potential to be a star. And Sheamus has that personality. I think he's very underrated in the ring, and he's gotten a whole lot better than when he first started. Like when he first wrestled Cena and won the title the first time, he sucked. But those matches with Morrison really showed me that this guy can go. And Sheamus his character, his personality is just he rocks that Irish look real good. And I think that Sheamus could be he's a star in the making. It's a good thing that WWE is taking. I know they gave him the title twice, but I think a lot of people are pretending like those 2 title reigns don't really count. And now WWE is really trying to focus on him, and that's a good thing. It's too bad he's on SmackDown, but actually I think that's a blessing in disguise, because if he's on SmackDown, it gives him an opportunity to work some programs with some other guys that people aren't really watching, and then when he comes back to Raw, he's going to be big. So that's a good thing. Mark Henry did win the match, but it was good because Sheamus still looked strong. He looked like he could go with Mark Henry, and even though I know these two feuded, I think last year, a real similar type feud, and I think Henry was the babyface that time, that Mark Henry is another guy that I think is supremely underrated as well. So that's done. Then we had Christian versus Randy Orton, and first I was real skeptical. I'm like, I don't want to watch this again because these guys have been fighting forever. But this match was just fucking amazing. Every spot made sense. The one part that I wish they would have done, and this is the only way I would have done, the only different way I would have done this, in the middle of the match where Christian and Orton, they get into the ring, and you know how every single match is won by Orton, RKO out of nowhere. It gets real repetitive, and Randy Orton, in my opinion, is suffering through that 5 moves of doom that Cena always gets accused of doing. And I think a lot of people forget about what the 5 moves of doom, what we really mean by that is, yeah, every wrestler has 5 moves. Every wrestler has their 5 moves. But Cena and Orton always do the same moves in the exact order. Or maybe like The Rock or Austin, guys who also suffer from that same thing, they don't do them in that exact order. Angle, even too. Of course, Angle's got more than 5 moves, but I mean, no one ever accuses him of that because, sure, you got the ankle lock and the angle slam and all those variety of different suplexes, but he hits them at different points, and his matches all aren't the same. Like Orton's matches are all the same, and Cena's matches are usually all the same. That's why we dislike these two guys. So this is how I would have ended it. I would have had Christian beat Orton with the Imperator out of nowhere. That's what I'm going to call it. Because the irony would be, because that's how Orton always wins. So why don't you have Christian win the way that Orton would win? And when he hit that Imperator, it looked like Orton was going to hit the RKO out of nowhere, and then bam, Christian hits him with the Imperator. I'm like, oh, this would be awesome. I knew it wasn't over, but this would have been awesome if that's how it ended. It ended with a real sick spot where Christian does trying to do like a moonsault from the top rope, and me and my buddy were watching, and we're like, oh no, RKO, and then bam, hits it. And I didn't even watch I couldn't even watch it because I did not want Orton to win this match. I thought Christian needed this win. I thought that Christian has been. Every time he gets the belt, they take it away from him a month or 5 days later, and it's disgusting in my opinion. But I don't like the way they're treating him like that. They're like, here, have the belt. I'm going to take it away. Here, have the belt. Don't take it away. But at least he was champion. And at least he was a credible, in my opinion, credible champion. He had great matches. And this was his coming out match to show that, this guy is good. This guy can main event. And WWE needs to be giving him more opportunities to main event because this was a great match. And he can work a hardcore match. Oh yeah, and Triple H, this is how you work a hardcore match. Anyways, next match. Cena vs. Punk. This was the match everyone wanted to see. I thought the match was okay. I don't think it was that great. It seemed kind of dragged a little bit, but I'm not going to really talk about the whole match aspect of it because the drama in the match was a little bit different. But when Del Rio cashes in Money in the Bank, and I thought this was totally unneeded, I don't understand why people are defending this. I remember a year ago, 2 years ago, that people were saying that Punk needs the title, Punk needs this win, Punk needs this win. Well, he got the win and then dropped the belt. He only had the title for a month. And he didn't even actually have a legit title defense. He beat Cena and it was great. The world's happy. But then he drops the belt to Del Rio. It just doesn't make, to me, Del Rio's a character that, honestly, I don't like him. There's some other people on here that do not like him as well. There's some people that love him. My friend I watched it with was loving it because he likes Del Rio. I don't understand why. I think the guy, whatever. But anyways, Del Rio wins the title. I think Kevin Nash popped. That was weird as well. Everyone was at the bar was popping for Nash. I was like, shit. Del Rio's going to cash in Money in the Bank because that's a lot of people's predictions earlier in the show. This is how I would have done it. If you're gonna, Del Rio should have been the guy to cash in the Money in the Bank and lose. Because you can package him as a guy that, he can win the big matches, but when it comes down to the big match, like the match that you need to win, he'll lose that match. Because he won Royal Rumble and then lost the world title match. If he won the Money in the Bank, would lose the world title match. And then you turn him face. Because you let the fans get into him. You get the fans connected with him. The fans are not connected with Alberto Del Rio. They're not. The fans don't care about him, and the only reason why the fans should even say anything to him is because he's the champ. And he will get attention because he's the champ. But I don't see them doing anything with them. I see another Jack Swagger, another Miz, who is another guy who has been disrespected the last few weeks. And this is, to my opinion, there's no need for this. Punk would have been great as world champion. Maybe because WWE has lack of confidence in booking Punk in a feud with another wrestler besides Cena right now. Because Orton's on SmackDown, so who else is Punk going to feud with? Nobody's ready to step up to that world title picture. R-Truth's not really ready. Morrison could be, but they're not going to do Morrison and Punk, because even though I would love it, but they're just not going to do it. Anyways, this is Mad Dog 2001. Hopefully this video uploads, because the last one I made never uploaded.